Welcome to Hammer Rich Renovation. This is our 2011 Hyundai Sonata 2.0 Turbo. This is a wonderful car in many aspects, except the air conditioner is unreliable. Sometimes it cuts right on and we'll get cool. Sometimes it'll cut on and we're 5 minutes down the road. And I mean, if you're in shorts, you can roll the windows down, not a big deal. But if you're dressed up and need to be somewhere and not be sweaty, that's a big deal. So I think I've got what it will take to fix the air conditioner. And I'm hoping this is what it will take. This is a very small part, 25 bucks. And it is a valve that goes in the compressor. That is a known issue with these Hyundais. I've also got me another low pressure valve, because mine was messed up for the truck air conditioner the other day. So I'm gonna get this thing pulled in and let's get to work. Let's get cool. I'm sick of being hot. All right. 100 degrees. It's 6:30 in the evening. Now I know I don't have a thermometer to show you what it is that it's doing. And I'm not going to find one. It's hot. And I wouldn't take this car apart, discharge the AC, and then recharge it just to make a video. Especially when it's 100 degrees. Oh yeah, and if you saw that, yeah, we got one. All right, let's get pulled in. I'm gonna back up and try again. Especially if I gotta be under this thing. Okay, much better, much better. Yeah, it needs shocks too, but it's a car. It always needs something, so. Not really worrying about that today. Let's see, there's high side and low side right here in front. I think I've lost my mind out here choosing to work on a car. Especially the air on a car where it actually works, just not, it doesn't work well. Maybe it'll run into the evening a whole lot quicker. All right, so put that on. Okay. Take this one off. And I would love to take this apart, see what happened inside, like maybe there's an O-ring bad or something. All right, let's get the caps off. I know you can't see the low side, but it's down here. There's the high side up top. Both of them hissed. That is interesting. That means doesn't mean the Schrader valves are bad. Here's where we are on the gauges before I do anything. And I know that is pretty high there, but nothing's running. So let's check it while it's running, see what it looks like. it shut off. When I went in, there was no change inside. It was still blowing hot, which is normal. So as you can see, it is not completely on zero, but there is nothing in the line. No pressure left, and we evacuated it successfully, and we didn't lose any oil as determined by our measuring device in the blue bucket. All right, so here's the underneath, a bunch of 10 millimeter pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off first, and probably this one here. All right, that panel's down. And right here is where we're going, and it takes snap ring pliers. So we're going to take this plug out, and then we're going to remove that valve. All right, now some snap ring pliers. All right. All right, so if you didn't see it, before it fell, snap ring is out. These are the ones I used. This is my new set. Got them off of Amazon. I will drop you a link. They were not expensive. Now, put your flathead in there, and you pry this valve out. Just like that. You make sure and get that O-ring right there that tries to stay behind, and have it come on out with you. All right, let's go up top. All right, clean the spot off. Yeah, I don't care. It's dirty. There's always another project going on. I just wanted to look at this and compare it to the new one. All right, so it looks like this new one has this cap here. And I saw in the display of the part on Amazon that this can be removed. I don't know if I will remove it to start with, or if I will try and install before I remove it. Oh, it just comes off. I wonder if it's just like an extra filter. And there's a little screen there. Looking at this one, I was trying to see if there was any kind of debris, and except for where I laid it down, I don't see any debris, which is great news. All right, so we'll take some of this PAG. That's what I call Paige's girlfriend. Her name is Paige, but somehow we started calling her Paggy. Sometimes she is Pag. All right, let's go install. Set right back there. Okay, removing it. Also saw this O-ring here. Put it in the opening. It makes putting that solenoid in easier. Okay, there's a little lip there, and it's seated. All right, so this has got to stick back that way just like it was. Okay. There we go, we're seated. Snap ring, we'll knock the dirt off it. Just making sure it's seated. Looks like it. Seated all the way around. All right, let's go ahead and pop that back in. All right. Okay. Parts exchanged. All right, got my pump hooked up. Get the valves opened up. So I'm going to let it vacuum down for about a half hour. And then I will let it sit for about a half hour. And during that time, I will probably go ahead and put the panels back on the bottom. I know you can't see 100 degrees on screen, but it's the only part of my shirt that's dry. The rest is not. It's capturing my water. All right, so turned it off, vacuum off after half an hour, and then let it sit for a half an hour. The needle hasn't moved. Now it is not on 30, but it was also not on 0 when it was empty. So that needle may be a little bit off. So now I'm gonna fire it up. It holds 2 cans of R134 for about 670 grams. All right, so cans going in. These are snap ring pliers that I used on my truck and also on this car. Got them off Amazon. And they were really needed because the ones I was using at their new home, so they go into the trash, it was real crap. The cans get pretty cold. PSI. Take the cans on deck. See that button right there. Can in. Feel in there. Yes, I can. Well, it was not cool. We got to the bottom of the first can. Most systems have a pressure switch that cuts on at 42 psi. And this can got opened up. We went to 38 over that. So while the Freon's going in, let's show you these here. Pretty good, very solid. And if your Hyundai is doing the same thing, that's the part number. But I'm also going to leave a link to the part on Amazon. I think the part is 20. All right, second can is empty. We look at the gauges and we're at 40. And right here, from what I'm told, even though this is pressure on the outside, if you look in the red there, this is degrees Fahrenheit. In the red where your 134 is. And it is just under 100 there. It's over 90, but I would say it's probably 96 degrees, which is probably what it is out there right now. And I was told this usually reflects the ambient temperature outside in that needle there. I could be wrong. If you want to tell me in the comments what it really means, if I'm wrong, then I appreciate it. And I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. We're now in just under 40 psi here. So I'm going to take these gauges off and take it for a ride. Oh wow, it's very cool in here. All right, so we got 89 outside. So I'm going to shut it off, because sometimes it would start right back up cold. Sometimes just shutting it off, it would start up and it would not get cold at all. So now I've got it off. I'm going to turn it back on. We'll see what it does. It's still cold. I'll run it down the street. Down the road a ways, still cold. Acting like it's going to do anything else. Almost to the highway. And I want to try it from a sit still and hit wide open throttle. Because normally, if you ever have to do that, merging into traffic, then it sometimes disrupts the whole system. And we did that earlier today in town, and then we were pretty hot most of the way home, and we're about 15 miles from town, so I'm at the highway now. Let's give it a shot. Still cold, never got warm at all. Seems this little valve has been the root of the problem, and we have suffered some mornings when it's hot out. As last summer when we got this car, and this summer, especially when we have to be dressed up, and Amy headed into work. It's tough having to be set up to go in and look presentable and have to worry about sweating. So I don't think that's going to be an issue now, and fortunately this was something that happened on Hyundais. They don't have an AC clutch, and not having an AC clutch means the compressor spins constantly, and so that valve that I put in, it varies with how much the computer calls for. So it calls for starting at 6 volts, goes up to 12, so you never really feel the initial hit of the power draw of the compressor, and they do that to make it more efficient. Well, I don't, and that's just from what I've read. So that is not your typical setup, and for some reason that valve was not wanting to play nice. But this new one, man, that fixed it up, And so I hope this helps you. And if you don't have these tools, I believe you can rent them from part stores. The only thing that was real expensive, I believe, is the vacuum pump. But you can get your own gauges from Harbor Freight, and or off of Amazon, and do these things yourself. And if you're not real sure, watch a video. And that's how I learned some of the things that I do. And before the internet, I read books and I talked to mechanics. I had mechanics that were friends that would show me stuff. So don't be afraid to learn and to ask questions and pick up some experience. So appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next thing.